I'm recording this one. I would first I'll go through um, the current situation and a little bit of background, and then um, we'll look into the different views and different probabilities here, and decide what might best for us as a group. Um, Looking at the situation, so I'll share my ideas and approach on how to handle this situation and what are the key levels. In yesterday's call, I covered all the key levels, but it's good to reiterate. Situation is a little different. Not a major difference though. For us, it's a major uh, difference because the amount of percentage fall is greater than PTC, right? So what I was saying that this is S4.1. It had to come. It had to break up S4.1 yesterday. It failed. It tried multiple times, but it failed. Then I don't think this is Elon. Elon tweeted again on Dog, not on Doge, but Dog. But it was like much earlier than this, like around 13 hours ago. So I don't think whatever we are seeing is not because of Elon for sure. So that's one thing. I'm not defending him, but we don't have to. We don't have to think in that direction because it's waste of time as well, and it doesn't give you anything but more hatred. Not trying to change your opinion, but just bringing up a fact that this drop is is after, I mean, after 3 4 hours, and his tweet was like general tweet anyway. So let's understand what is happening now. Now it broke below this, which is not a good sign. But what is good is it didn't break below this level. So you can say this is still under consolidation, if I may extend this one. Now here I would I would be watching even more closely than yesterday. When we were here, we were looking for S4.1 to be broken above. Now it failed, and now below this level, I removed the label. Maybe it's S4.2 or 3. Maybe it's S4.2. Anyway, so now the first requirement is to break above this one, and we'll zoom out and see what might happen if it fails. So at this moment, I think I would not say everything is all right, but I would not even, there's no reason to be panicked. I think this requires planning and certain levels to be taken in, taken into consideration for planning point of view. Now, this S4.4 can be first line where you can plan for your risk management. So if this fails to break above, then this can be your reference. But remember one thing. I think I came across one of the members. I came across that he or she put all in one or 100%, and I'm still struggling to find out why anyone would do that. Again, it's not my business to get into anyone's personal decision, but I just feel that I'm not sure how to explain this. I'm trying my best to explain that when we are on alert, when the BTC is falling, um, if if you are just keeping one coin, then it's your choice. And if you're not, if you are all in, it's your choice. But I would say right now, if you have done fine, I mean, when I say fine means no need to panic and change anything because you already did it. But those who are new and on cash, or joined recently, I would say I explained this in yesterday's call as well. These levels need to be considered as checkpoints. So when this is broken about, you may add more. If this is broken about, you may add more. So when we were here, different supports had to be taken as a point of risk management. And now we are at a stage where it is so important that you, if you don't understand risk management and not doing anything about it, then I think I'm not sure what other way I would explain. So whatever happened, happened. There is no point of regret. There is no point of worry about what happened, because we cannot change it. There were different supports along the way. One point I would again reiterate: when you sell below the support, never sell all. Sell in increment. I would keep repeating this one. When you have to buy from here on, if you're on cash and for, never buy all in one, always in increment. So this is so important, especially in this phase. Now there are different members who joined recently or who already on this channel for long, right? So different members would have different situations, different profit level. Maybe somebody would be in loss and so on. Now if we reset everything and say, okay, now wherever you are, forget about past, and what can we do? So those who are holding, I would say no need to panic at this moment. It is not because situation is all right. I'm not saying that, so don't misinterpret that way. What I'm saying is panicking now does would not help, because whatever happened happened. Okay, if you panic now and if it goes up, you will end up in more panic or FOMO, because then you had loss, let's say, or loss in profit, either way. And if you panic and sell all at this moment, and if it goes up, then you will be in a even greater difficulty, right? So let's not do that. So this is not a financial advice. Of course, this is a logical move for anyone to do that, but it's just a reiteration of anyone, this logical, planning. Now, as you could see, it dipped, but it's not crash. It's not that it broke below the previous low. It's not that it broke below even this one. So this is still making higher lows, right? It tried to break about this one. It failed, but not failed miserably. Now what we see here, it's attempting to recover. Now again the same story. It tried to break above S4.1, right? And it will try, if it break about this one again, it will try to break about S4.1. And this time, as I said over here, that here it failed to break above 4, but then it broke down and then it retry. And I said if it breaks above 4.1, then it will be able to break above 4. Now I would say the same thing here, that if it can break about this one, then breaking about this one will be easier, right? And once this breaks above, then the breaking about this one is also easier. So in nutshell, what I would say is this low is the most important low, and I'm not going to give any false hope about the situation, and I'll try to be more realist here. So this is a positive bounce, but this bounce has to break about this one. So you're going to watch it, and right now I'm going to keep the call open, and no matter how long time it takes, I'm going to line open, maybe if it requires hours and hours. So I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so this Zoom call will remain open, maybe even if requires me to open it for 10 to 12 hours. And I'll be online and I'll be updating you. So that's my commitment on current situation. So at this moment, I'll after this summary, I'll stop the recording and keep the live session on. So right now I'm recording for anyone who could not join, so they can at least understand the current situation. And I'll publish it and keep the line open. Right. So coming back to the main point, it must break about this, and we have to see what it does. If it breaks about this, then the likelihood of 4.1 to be broken above is high, and then we'll have to observe what it does, because if it breaks above 4.1, it will definitely change the balance. And then again, I would say the same, that as breaking above S4 should be easier, right? But one thing at a time, as I always think that first it has to break about this, and then we should feel, you know, um, much better, because this level is a point where we must have our guards on. Okay, so as I said, anyone who has not taken any risk management plan or prepared any risk management plan must prepare at this stage. If it goes down, and right now it's bouncing, so no need to assume anything. I don't like anyone to be assuming anything, because assumption doesn't work out, expectation doesn't work out, right? Okay, so what is my plan is I calculated another lower support. Again, this is just for preparedness, as I always do. This is your first checkpoint, and I would another draw a line
In
for
200 yards,
just below.
left turn.
I'm recording this session, so if you don't mind putting in mute, I'm muting it, but please make sure you don't unmute for now. I'll open the line for question for sure. Right now, let me finish off this. So I would add this as 29690. So sometime this low could be little below the recent June, sorry, May 19th low, but this is again a logical level. There can be little dollar figure here and there. Okay, so these two levels are for risk management. If this is broken below, you can, you may, I mean, reduce some position. If this is broken below, you may reduce your position, because this is likely to be the next level if this low is May 19th low is broken below. Now, this is for preparedness, as I said. At this moment, it's bouncing, so this is not something which you would consider from action point of view, only for planning point of view. Now, if I zoom out, I'll turn off all the drawings and zoom out on a 1 day scale. If you look at this one, this is still consolidating. It's defending this level, and there is always, so recent low is so important, as I said. If this is broken below, we have the lower level, um, which is S7. I don't know if the numbering is right, doesn't matter. Now, this is definitely um, the reaction. This is reaction. This reaction, this fall is aggressive fall, but I would say this had happened in last bull run as well, and I would like to correlate quickly that we can get a bounce from here on, like what we had in past. So I would quickly go back. This is where this is like May 19th. What we are expecting a bounce like this. We don't know what will happen after this, which we'll see. Right now we are not assuming. What we don't want is it doesn't. So if you look at it, this is also kind of a similar situation. This was a left hand side, not exactly the same, it's never exact, but this is kind of a this is the peak, and then this was a quick drop in multiple. This is also one, like stages, like first drop and then a bigger one. And if you look at it, this fall is very similar fall, that first one and then a bigger one. Now, so May 19th, I would compare this with this level, and you may say we had a bounce, but not high enough. What we want to see is a bounce like this, right? But and then have a checkpoint and monitor the situation. I'm not going to assume again that what happened in this previous bull run would happen again. If that happens, we'll see. But from here on, uh, like it didn't go down all the way here, right? Because if that to happen, that would be very dramatic in my opinion. It could go down up to 25k, this level. But if it going down up to 20k would be very dramatic in my opinion. um, I haven't seen anything where the from the pick without any significant bounce it would go down like that deep. It all so recent dip was already 54% or 50, yeah, roughly 54%. And up to 60% will be too much, and going down 70% would be historical. So I don't think it will go down like that at this stage, probability wise, historical data point of view, right? So that's why I'm not thinking about all this and focusing on what is happening now. But we are not going to wait for that to happen. As I mentioned earlier also, that the risk management has to be executed once it breaks below S4.4. If you are not managing your risk from the higher level, okay. So my clear message is this. And when you manage risk, this is um, it is never about sell all. As I said, it's very risky because it could bounce from any level. So I don't want to see anyone inform or later on saying, "Oh, you know what? I sold all, and it went up." So this is just to avoid any FOMO. But it's your choice. I'm not trying to advise anyone, but I'm sharing from my experience that often, because I had done in my past, that I was panic. Of course, when I was not a TA, I panicked on February 5th when it dropped, the drop that I shown to you from previous bull run. And on that night I was panicked, of course, because there was no cushion, there was no guidance, and there was no a stable coin even. So right now you have at least stable coin, right? So imagine you don't have even stable coin. And that time Binance did not have support to USD. Okay, that's another. So the only where only coin that you would take is BTC. But if the BTC is dropping, where would you park? So that was my situation in last bull run. I mean, when the bear trend started, and when I was not a TA. So I can totally understand how it feels when you don't know TA, and when you're new. So I was not new for sure, but definitely that kind of fall was not easy to handle because you don't know what to do strategy wise, right? And also support level wise. So that's the problem. But here at least you have that support level information, and some best practices with you. So I would say, just to recap before I end this recording, this fall was not so good. However, the good part uh, is it didn't break below this low. Right now it's bouncing, but it has to break above this resistance now, because it was a support, now it's a resistance. If it breaks above, then we'll be out of this mess. And if it could go up to 4.1, then the next time it will be able to break above. So if this could reach 4.1, then it is unlikely to get fail this time. So this the most important condition is to break about this one at this moment. And if it fails to do and start heading down, then this can be the level where you can manage your risk, and this can be another level, manage your risk, and so on. Otherwise it could go all the way to 25230. Because then why? Because then this is a consolidation. this consolidation will give enough firepower for it to go down up to this level. It's the same thing when it goes up. When the consolidation happens during uptrend, it will get enough energy to go on higher level. Similarly, when in the downturn, when you see this kind of consolidation, it will get enough energy to make a big move, right? However, the balance will change if it can break above 4.1. So this is of course the immediate condition, but later I think this is the most important, that it must break above S4.1. We know that this is the requirement, but for me, even if it breaks above 4.1 and able to stay there, then the probability of reaching this level will be high. And once it reaches here, then that will be a big relief, right? And a good recovery in my sense, in my opinion, right? So what we want is this is to be broken about at this moment. So very simple, this has to be watched and do whatever is required to do. This has to be watched and do whatever is required. So incremental approach is always important. No panic at this moment. I don't think any major drastic decision to be taken. It's just a, and if you have taken care of some, and if you are on cash, as I said, and don't assume this is a bottom. So what I meant covered is the risk management part. But let's say if starts moving up, and if you are new and if you're on cash, let's not assume until it breaks about this one and stays about this one. Oh, sorry, right? So if you're new and having cash, again assuming that everything is all right would be a mistake, because it has to uh, it has to break about this one, the green level. So you can consider all this level as your point of entry, if you may, right? And in one entry, second entry, third entry, and fourth entry, no matter what coin you choose, this could be your plan. If you think that this makes sense, you may go for it. This is not a financial advice from any angle, from any aspect, but this is my lesson learned, and this is what I would do if I have cash. Okay. On a personal front, again, it is not, I'm not sharing because to influence anyone. So just a disclaimer that um, whatever information I'm going to share is not to influence anyone, or also not to give any false hope, or not to give any encouragement from any mean. I'm i'm not on cash, and many majority of my positions are sitting on hardware wallet. I have no intention to sell at this moment, and I would sell my position if it breaks about 25230. As I said, this is my decision. I'm just sharing this personal information, not being a TA, not being on this official role, just on a personal level. So hope you understand that, right? So clear disclaimer here. Right. So I have not so I had two set of position. One I keep on exchanges for in and out whenever I think. Sometime I follow approach B, sometime I just do ad hoc position and so on. So even that is not touched, okay, at this moment. And anything on wallet is also not touched, of course. So if it breaks below this one, then anything on exchange I'll get rid of it. Anything on hardware wallet I'll remove after, if it breaks up below this 25230. So that's my game plan. Okay. So um, so just wanted to share, as I said, not to influence anyone. Okay. So I'll end the recording here, and this recording will be made available for everyone. I'll upload when while keeping this session open.